up against the wonderfully talented Welshman Matthew Stevens. And if their first session is any guide, we are in for a fascinating, if edgy, evening. It was just the start Jimmy wanted. A textbook 70 break, and the first frame belonged to the Whirlwind. But there seems to be a resolve about Matthew Stevens these days, and he found his potting game to take the next two. By this stage, Jimmy had lost his way a bit. This missed red let Matthew in, and while it wasn't looking too pretty, the Welshman had a crucial 3-1 lead at the interval. Jimmy faced falling yet another frame behind, but inexplicably, Matthew missed the final black off its spot. Jimmy had a lifeline, and he wasn't likely to let the opportunity pass. 4-2. The seventh frame was scrappy, but a couple of great pots on the colours gave it to Stevens. But Jimmy hung in there, and this terrific pot enabled him to take the crucial final frame of the session, 5-3, and very intriguingly poised. Yes, we've already had one black ball finish in that session. The king of close finishes is with me. One or two black ball finishes yourself, Dennis Taylor. How do you think the tension of this occasion is going to affect both players this evening?
I'll tell you what, the atmosphere here in the Barbican Centre is going to be absolutely electric, Hazel. And wait till you hear the reception both players get. And I mean, Jimmy's a favourite all over the world, but he's got a lot on his hands this evening because Matthew looked very relaxed. It wasn't the best session of snooker we've ever seen, but it was very, very exciting. And it's going to be all about that first frame. If Jimmy can get the first frame under his belt, we could have a fantastic evening here. Well,
Dennis, they're being very calm and collected at the moment, this audience, but I think they're about to erupt as I say, let's get over to Mr. Alan Hughes.
Well, let's welcome the players. And the first man into the semi-final is Snooker's favourite son, and one of the game's prized possessions, a full value-for-money player. He has battled his way into the last four in typical style. Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome the 6 times Embassy World finalist, the Whirlwind of London Town, Jimmy White. Ladies and gentlemen, his talented young opponent who has struck form at just the right time, and the former Wembley Masters and Regal Masters champion is fancied by many to lift his first United Kingdom title. Ladies and gentlemen, into the semi-final, the brilliant young Welsh dragon, Matthew Stevens.
I'm sure you at home can almost sense the atmosphere here. It's certainly going to touch both players out there, and I'm sure that in the commentary box, Clive Everton and John Virgo can feel it too.
Big crowd, big match. Jimmy White trying to reach his first ranking final since the 2000 British Open, which he lost to Peter Ebdon. Matthew Stevens trying to reach his first final.
Thank you. The 9th frame, Jimmy White to break.
Since losing the World Championship final at the Crucible in 2000 to Mark Williams. Some uncertain applause. It's not all that good a break-off shot. Stevens, one of the best long potters in the game. But not that time.
Thank you. Settle down now, please.
Yes, he's been knocking a few of those in. I'm not certain it was a natural potting angle and avoid the kiss on the black, and he didn't want to do that. He's left this red. This is the type of shot Jimmy will have been on the practice table, knocking in. And he's brought it to the match table. Good opening red. cued it well. Misjudged that one though. He tried to stun through the gap for the red just to the right of the black, but didn't catch it quite right. End of visit. Just a safety shot to play.
Jimmy White 7.
But how pleased he must have been after that first session to only be 5-3 behind. There was one period for a couple of frames where, to me, he just lost the plot completely. But he was handed a lifeline by Matthew Stevens. And particularly when he was 4-1 down, looking certain to go 5-1 down, and Matthew Stevens missed the black. That one. Oh, great pot.
Matthew Stevens 4.
Obviously the middle pocket's always there. Another good pot though. A confidence booster. Because as I say, for a few frames this afternoon, he wasn't playing well at all. He was handed a lifeline and he took it. And this match is back on. It didn't look that way at the time this afternoon.
An engrossed crowd. And there's the people's favourite.
Yes, tough safety shot this. He's got to avoid a kiss on the pink. Played it pretty well. Not enough pace to get back to the baulk cushion, but that was tricky.
Decent length, but otherwise Stevens not under any great pressure. There's a clear return to the baulk area.
Well, that's a nice result. Always a bit fortunate to creep behind a colour like that because you play to leave the cue ball as close to the baulk cushion as you can. That sip of water will have tasted nice for Jimmy, and a problem here for Matthew.
Glancing escape. Not quite thin enough contact.
Yes, I think there may be a choice of reds here. That one. And I think the potting angle on that one, by the looks of it, will get in position on the black for the same pocket.
One.
Now the big question will be, after another good pot, cued well, where's the black go? Does it go in its spot, and will it still be available into a corner pocket?
Eight.
Well, it obviously goes into the right corner, but can he get onto it in the right corner? These matches don't come along very often, but you can feel the tension. Every shot. The hush, which makes this game so exciting. Didn't want to take the chance on trying to get on the black. Needs an angle on the blue. He's perfect. And I think the main reason, Clive, is because both these players are trying to re-establish themselves.
Certainly, there have been a few times in Jimmy White's career when he's appeared to be sliding irrevocably down the slippery slope. It seemed that way last season.
14.
He only won 2 matches in the 8 ranking events.
15.
But somehow or other, even at the age of 41, his love of the game, his love of competition, his love of the scene keeps him practicing and giving of his best.
22.
And here he is, back in a major semi-final.
Any harder, I
23.
don't think that would have dropped. It just about did. He's not perfect on the black, but there is a red in that cluster of 5, which is available into the left corner. That way, black went in, clean as a whistle. Now, the problem here, does the black go
30.
into the left corner pocket? Well, he's obviously got a choice of reds into the left corner. Playing this one with the rest tells me that the black maybe does go into the same pocket as this red. It does. That's why he played it.
31.
But he's not controlled the cue ball too well. So after this black, the next red, not obvious.
Stevens hoping that White's going to break down soon. Played it well.
He did play it well. He could have taken the easier way out there and just
38.
rolled the black in. That was a tough shot. Couldn't have played it better. And now you think no
39.
reason why he shouldn't win the frame at this visit. Just the start Jimmy White was looking for.
He's had a tendency in recent years to undo good early work in a frame by making an unexpected error. Not on this one, but to me, he seems in command of his nerves.
Well, as I say, he went through a very rocky patch in
46.
this match this afternoon, and Matthew Stevens handed him a couple of lifelines. Well,
Jimmy White.
What did I
called it
say?
right. You called it right. There's no excuse for missing that. The winning post was firmly in his sights. Well, that was easier than Matthew Stevens' black this afternoon. won't have the same costly effect on Jimmy White. Struggled its way in. It's not an easy table to try and make a frame-winning break-off. In fact, it'd be an unbelievable performance to win the frame at this visit, particularly with those two reds just below the black.
Took the first possible opportunity to develop them. A little bit risky, but if the red goes at the back of the black, certainly could work out in his favour.
Well, it does, but of course when he pots it, he'll be running into the black. So I don't see where the colour comes from here. That could have worked out a lot nicer. I don't blame him taking the risk, but he just didn't catch the cannon on the red as he would have liked. Thinking about the shot, as I say, if he pots the red just below the black, now it's safed it, because he's not guaranteed to be on a colour.
Matthew Stevens, 7.
So that miss from Jimmy White wasn't as costly as it could have been, but it was a good safety from Matthew, and he's back in the frame. And frame, I'm certain a few moments ago, he thought he'd lost.
Yes, and all the reds are now in potable positions. The one nearest the left middle, probably the most awkward. So White can't afford a mistake here.
Good shot to get the cue ball back to the baulk end, but he's not found the baulk cushion. So this red just to the left of the pink. Matthew will be taking this on.
Chance for White to attempt red to left corner, returning the cue ball to baulk. Important shot it could be if he gets it, either if he lands on a colour or to lay a snooker, but he hasn't got it.
Yes, and he's left one of those long pots that Matthew Stevens excels at. Red to the right corner, just off straight. But he doesn't fancy it, so he's playing safe. Much too thick. Much too thick on the safety. He'll be lucky to get away with this. And he hasn't.
For such a good long potter, it's amazing how many times Stevens mishits those safeties from distance.
1.
Yes, we commentated on a match of his the other afternoon, Clive, and I think his safety success rate was down to as low as 71%. Not good enough in this class. He missed the first opportunity.
8.
50 points in front. Just needs 2 reds, 2 colours. And it was a
9.
similar red to that he missed. Black to go 58 points in front. There's only 59 left. So 1 red required. No heroics with this. this red would put him
16.
59 in front, 51 left, and Matthew Stevens will have lost the first frame.
17.
So that's it.
I think White's feeling good, John.
Well, he's entitled to. I think of the two players, Jimmy will have taken a lot
24.
more out of the afternoon than Matthew, because Matthew could have had
25.
this match, in all fairness, sewn up. He looked certain to go 5-1 in front. He had chances. Well, of course, he won the next frame, went 5-2, which could have made it 6-1. He had every chance in the last frame of the session
31.
and lost that.
32.
So he could have been 7-1 in front and just went away 5-3 in front. And with Jimmy winning this, I said at the start of this frame, Matt John would like to pick a winner now. We're in for a very excited
38.
evening.
Jimmy White, 38. And the French.
Breaks of 46 and 38 have given Jimmy White the first frame of the evening. He reduces Matthew Stevens' lead to 5-4.
Looks like we've got a match then, doesn't it? But, Dennis, it looked like Jimmy had blown that earlier on.
Well, I've noticed throughout the day, I was doing the first session, Jimmy's been keeping very still on the shot and giving himself that couple of extra seconds which can make all the difference. He looks very composed around the table. He'd made the 46 break and he looked certain to more or less clinch the frame in one visit. And then he seemed to put a little quick one in. He was in this position here, fairly comfortable shot for Jimmy. Just got down and let's have a look. Well, he still kept pretty still on the shot. That was just a little lapse in concentration. But he looks very composed out there, and that's such an important frame for Jimmy to, as we mentioned at the start of the show.
Yeah, and there's two factors, I think, probably to do with that, Dennis, and that is the fact that he and his coach, Alan Bell, have been working to try and just slow his rhythm down a little bit. But also, I know he's been having hypnotherapy to keep him controlled out there. How do you think that would affect a character like Jimmy?
Well, no, it can work. It can absolutely, and Jimmy's done this before, and I think it's John McPherson he's working with, and he seems to have got him relaxed as well as Alan Bell, his coach. And he's looking good, looking very comfortable at the moment, but he's still got to fancy Matthew.
Yep. Game on, Clive and John.
Matthew Stevens has got to forget about his ghastly miss at the end of the sixth frame. It's a chance for him to re-establish himself amongst the very top group of players. He was not only runner-up in the 2000 World Championship, but a semi-finalist in the two subsequent ones, plus twice he's reached the UK final without winning it. But meanwhile, his safety's gone wrong.
Yes, not for the first time. Yes, it was a tough shot that for Jimmy. It was near the baulk cushion. In the end, he tried to play it with pace and play what they call a banana shot. But unfortunately,
Jimmy White won.
he bent it too much, didn't get position on the black. He's laid the snooker, but that won't force Matthew into any mistake. Easy get out.
Foul.
Well,
And a miss. Jimmy White 6.
that is unbelievable. That's you just give Jimmy 6 points. And the reason Jimmy's taking advantage of the misrule there is because he can't get back to the baulk end. Jimmy assumes that when Matthew rolls into these reds, he'll be left an easy path back to baulk. which he will play now. But what a careless 6 points to give away that was. Who's to say how vital 6 points may be at the end of a frame? Well, he just caught the yellow. I don't know whether Jimmy can just get past the brown to play the pot on this red to the right corner. But Matthew's safety play is his Achilles heel at the moment. Jimmy can get through to this red.
Much too full. White was disgusted with that attempt.
Yes, well, he knows that when his opponent makes a mistake like that, you know, I mean, the one thing with that type of shot, don't hit it too thick. If you hit it too thick, it goes back down the table with the cue ball, and that's what he did. He hit it too thick. And Matthew has been given a chance.
One.
Even though Stevens hasn't been at his best, he's still potted pretty consistently from middle and long distance. A couple of length of the table pots from tight on the cushion I'm thinking of in particular, but he hasn't played that terribly well off the blue.
Well, he's looking at the possibility of a 3-ball plant into the right corner pocket here. Because the red he played on, well, it's a 3-ball plant, I think, this. But it's not there.
Matthew Stevens, 6.
And once again, well, that wasn't really a safety shot because he thought he might pot the red. But he's not got it safe. He thought that was a plant. He was mistaken by quite a way.
Thin red to middle leaves the cue ball running free. Had to take a chance for position. Not too bad.
1.
Could have finished a lot worse places than that.
He'll have to concentrate on pink and blue
7.
here. In fact, you may have to concentrate on the blue alone because the pink's not available into the left centre. It doesn't go in the right corner or the left corner. So it's concentrate on the
8.
blue. And he's come nicely on the blue.
Thirteen. 14.
Not quite perfect on the blue this time. He's just got to manoeuvre this cue ball a little bit more than he would like. Well, he managed to hold it. And now, does the
19.
black become available into the right corner pocket? Playing for these reds in the right corner, I would suggest not. In fact, he just was walking round there and he stopped. I thought, hang on a minute. I might be able to bring the black into play here. It's funny, when your mind sets on certain things, it's easy for me to sit up here with a clear mind. No pressure on me.
$20.
Thought it was just too tight to try and stay on the black.
Yep.
But this is a useful red to get
25.
rid of. I think it'll make the pink potable later into the same pocket. Chooses this one instead.
26.
Yes, I think it's one of those situations. Okay, just at the moment he's getting a nice angle on the blue. But with those reds near the right corner, if he did come straight on the blue, then they would still be available
31.
where the reds in the middle of the table wouldn't. He's taken them quite well so far.
32.
Not the right angle this time. Matthew wondering whether he'll get back to the table with a chance in this frame. The reds are nicely spread and Jimmy's taking them well. And this is a good shot. Oh, well. I was going to say a good shot. I felt certain he was going to play that with left-hand side.
37.
He played it with right-hand side. Checked it. Strange choice. But as I say, this red to the right corner was always going to be there. He can still get through to it. Just a good pot required. Used all the pocket. And has finished perfect on the blue. He'll settle for that.
38.
.39 in front. Chance to clinch the frame at this visit, but he misjudges his position.
43.
Yeah, that was a poor shot. Misjudged it by a long way. Now it's decision time here. He's got a red to the right centre. If he knocks it in, finishes on the black, he wins the frame. He's 44 points in front. There's the red. Into the right middle. As I say, if he knocks it in, gets on the black, frame over literally. But it's risky, it's dangerous, and it's a pressure shot.
Jimmy White, 43.
Backward glance to see whether he's left the top red to left middle.
Well, he decided to take the bull by the horns, and now he's left a chance for Matthew Stevens. For the counter-attack.
Seven. Eight.
Stevens hasn't strung together anything of significance so far this evening, so this is an important moment for him. White seemed to be closing in on 5 all.
15.
Knock White back a bit. If Stevens could rise to the challenge and win this frame to go 2 clear once more.
Yeah, he's left this straight. He'll be screwing back. He'll be trying to get a nudge off the second red to get position on the black. Well, he managed to squeeze it in and play
16.
the run through. He was a bit low on the black. dropped it in, but really he couldn't have come much worse.
23.
The last thing you want to be doing here is cutting them back into a blind pocket. It's a big match, there's a lot of pressure out there. He was looking for something slightly easier than this. He'll take it on, but it's a tough shot.
.24.
Good shot, good nerve, good chance now.
.30. .31.
Well, the age-old problem getting good on the last red. He's not ideal on the blue. But he's choosing the blue. He's got to judge this well. It's not bad.
36.
It's not bad, but he's still not on a shot that you feel certain you're going to pot. So there's still a little bit of pressure on this. But if he knocks this in, gets on a colour, Jimmy White will be losing this frame. He's missed it. It was just one difficult pot too many. Particularly the pressure of the situation.
That could easily prove the difference between 5-all and 6-4 down.
One.
9 points in front. The green and another yellow, green and brown would be sufficient, and you can't honestly think of any reason why Jimmy shouldn't take them. In fact, any
4.
reason why he shouldn't take all the 6 remaining colours. He needed
6.
a good start. Looks like he's got one, Clive.
Yes. 5-2 down he was.
9.
But the last frame of the afternoon, the first of the evening, and now this one
13.
has brought the match level.
.18.
It's 5-all, level with 7 to play.
24 and a frame. Jimmy White.
Emptied it straight to a corner pocket rather than played half ball to the right
Thank you, ladies
middle.
and gentlemen. Frame 11.
Thought the pot was more
Jimmy
certain
White
that
to break.
way, and position certainly was. But the red stayed out, and now it's 5-all with the tide at the moment running in white's favour.
Cracking pot from Matthew. One, just get through to it. This is his strength, no doubt about it. But he'll do well to keep it going after the cover. He's got to try and disturb something. So he's taking on a very difficult blue, striking down. This is a difficult pot. Played it well. And if he's not on anything, he's unlucky.
6.
Don't know whether he can get through to a red to the right centre, or whether it's just a safety. Oh, he could, and another tremendous pot.
7.
And not a bad angle on the blue. Just about get through to that, but he, at that pace, you had to be so accurate. Good shot. That blue just about went in.
12.
He set himself up with a nice chance here to build up a useful lead in this 11th frame.
13. Eighteen. 19. 26. Yep.
Not straight enough to get through
27.
for black. And not the cleanest of contacts, it appears. So he's the wrong side of the blue. Well, bad shot to go careering into the green.
32.
Well, he's got this red to the right corner. Will he be tempted? He's potted some very good balls already in this break. This is probably the most difficult of them. He's taking it on.
Is he going to drop in the middle?
Matthew Stevens, 32.
Well, it's left an easy starter for white.
Yes, and it's funny, once it starts to go wrong, does it all go wrong? Because he didn't leave Jimmy an easy red until that one went over the middle.
1.
Well, while you were away, Jimmy
Quiet now,
did
please.
pot
Let
the
him
red.
concentrate.
Not at the best angle on any colour though.
Blue ball. Jimmy White 1.
He'll be disappointed with that. Didn't have to do anything with the cue ball. Just pot the blue and he's automatically on the next red. That red. Well, no.
1.
Surely not. Well, what an error of judgment that was from Matthew. It's got to be said, he's struggling here. Don't know whether the scars, if you like, of this afternoon are affecting him. But his potting's okay, but his positional play is very poor at the moment. He's got the green, but it's going to take a good shot to get that cue ball back down this end onto a red. Missed the green.
Matthew Stevens 1.
Well, he's come out safe as it happens, but I think his mind had gone by the time he attempted that green. Normally he would pot it, but his mind was full of, I should have been on an easy black.
Absolutely, you need a clear mind for this game. And he only got one, but he let Jimmy White off the hook there. And Jimmy trying to find that place near the port cushion behind yellow and green. Not quite. Not quite. It's safe, but
Thank you.
he didn't get the snooker
Thanks.
he was thinking of. Just an average safety shot from Matthew. Left Jimmy with his hand on the table. He'd certainly, I'm certain, be tempted by this red to the left corner. It's in the open. If he pots it, it's certain to be on the blue. He's had a walk round, but I don't think he's going to refuse this.
Well, he was so far out. I think he was intending to play that in such a way that the only ball he could leave would have been the difficult one along the cushion. But he hit this red so full that the cue ball came off wider, leaving Stevens right in.
And he has left him right in. So this is a golden opportunity for Matthew to put all the bad shots that he's remembering at the back of his mind and win this frame. No reason why he shouldn't.
8.
Couldn't wish for a better opportunity than this. 40 points in front. 5 reds, nicely open in the middle of the table. It looks a formality. Under normal circumstances, I'm certain it would be.
White's attempted long red was so wayward. But he's left
50.
Stevens right in, but he's still not playing his positional shots with any great conviction.
Looks
22.
a little bit wide, but after a nice pace, just to let it drop in the pocket. 54 points in front. Make that 55.
23.
So just one more colour required. And Jimmy White will need snookers.
$30. 31.
It was very important for Stevens to reassert himself at this point.
38.
This should settle him
39.
after a pretty nervy start to this evening session. White has seemed much more in command of himself, though not entirely free from error.
46. 47.
Yes, I think in the first two frames that Jimmy won this evening, he made mistakes, but he wasn't punished. He made a mistake this one, particularly on that
54.
long red, and it's cost him the frame.
55.
And look how Stevens stroked in that long red in such an unconcerned way, and contrast it with the easier long straight red he missed at the conclusion of the last frame. That was pressure telling its tale.
57. 59.
The last few shots
59 in the frame.
of that 59 break were for amusement only. Jimmy White goes a frame behind. Matthew Stevens regains the lead at 6-5.
And I'm sure that certainly settled Matthew down a little bit, because, Dennis, he did look rattled earlier on. What do you think accounts for that?
I think the fact that Jimmy won the two opening frames put a lot of pressure back on Matthew, and he just lost his composure just for a few shots there, because we've seen him all afternoon potting some fantastic long pots. But if you look at this one, he actually almost hits the red on the wrong side and didn't get anywhere near the pocket. And he didn't leave a great deal there, but it's very unlike, well, I say he didn't leave a great deal. The red finished up over the pocket there. But there was another shot in that which really was very unlike Matthew. He had a long green to go at, and here we see this. I mean, he's so good at this type of shot, and this is a piece of cake for Matthew, and he didn't get anywhere near the pot. But fortunately for Matthew, Jimmy gave him a chance again. Jimmy missed later on in the frame and let Matthew back in, and then he was back to his fluent best there, and that was a big frame for Matthew Stevens. Had Jimmy have won that and won the first three, there would have been a lot of questions to answer.
I think what's intriguing about both of these players, Dennis, is that in the past they've both exhibited signs of mental fragility when it comes to really big occasion. We all know about Jimmy White's six-time runner-up in the World Championship at the Crucible, but Matthew's had a few like that as well, twice in this United Kingdom Championship and once also at the Crucible too. I think when you look back on those events, how do you actually think about that? Does it manifest itself in your head at crucial times like this?
Well, you don't necessarily think about it, but it must be there in your subconscious. And Matthew Stevens, all the talent in the world, and he hasn't won a world ranking event yet, which is amazing, because it's only a matter of time before he does. And the harder you try, the more difficult it is. And he knows he's in with a good chance of winning this United Kingdom Championship. And Jimmy, back in the semi-final again. Both players are probably at this stage trying that little bit too hard, but Matthew looks just a little bit more comfortable now that he took that frame. I
think he looks more comfortable generally this season, because we know that in the summer he moved to a different location to practice, just a change of scene, got a new coach in, and I think that seems to have made a difference. He looks refreshed in many ways. Yeah, he's knocking about with his good friend Mark Fenton, who is a professional player, and Mark has been a great help to Matthew. But once again, this frame before the mid-session interval, we keep talking about it. It's a big frame, this one. It certainly is. Clive and John, you all set?
Matthew Stevens trying to secure a 7-5 lead at the mid-session interval, which would leave him within 2 frames of a place in Sunday's final. Ronnie O'Sullivan v Stephen Hendry in tomorrow's semi-final. And whoever wins this match, I would have to say, would have to improve considerably to beat either of those two in the final, the way they've been playing.
Yes, but the game isn't that simple sometimes, is it? I think the one thing with Matthew and his weakness at the moment is his safety play. And if he was to get to the final, he certainly have to brush up on that. But as she takes this long red on, and cued it well, cued it nice. Obviously the pink's available to the left corner. But there's certain times, has been throughout this tournament, that Jimmy White has cued as well as he's done for many a season. If he could cut out that odd mistake, in fact I think his safety play, maybe not so much in this match because he found himself under pressure, but in his other matches his safety play has been very good, top drawer in fact. And if he could just cut out the careless miss, then he's a match for anybody. It's just one or two little things that both players have just got to sharpen up on. With Matthew, I think it's his safety play, and with Jimmy, it's cut out those careless misses when you're in. Played that well. Run through. Just watching.
7.
That wasn't a bad contact, the jump. It was just the pace he injected, and he's looking to see if the black will go in the right corner. If it does, what a chance this is.
Eight.
This is a very good chance now.
Yes.
15.
Just checking that the black still goes. The red on the extreme left, if he was on that, well, he must be. Oh, well, it's perfect. It's perfect.
16.
Once again, just got this tendency to come a little bit low on this black. Straighter on this black, pot the black, play for the red to the right of it. So he's played a little cannon there, and it's not gone
23.
right. Well, from here it doesn't look as though it has. If it had been straighter on that black, and no reason why he shouldn't have been, he could have just stunned it in, played for the red in the same pocket. Well, he obviously thinks he can get through to this red to the right corner. Didn't play for it, but he'll settle for it.
24.
And nicely on the blue, chance to get himself back in perfect position, because he lost it for a moment there. People are always asking me
29.
the question, how many shots do professionals look ahead? Well, when the reds are like this,
30.
not too far. All you want to do is leave a nice angle on the red to get on the colour, and then a nice angle on the colour to get on the next red. Sounds simple, but that's the theory. It's not hard enough, is it? I don't think he's come off the top cushion hard enough. He's out of position.
37.
He was bridging over another red and making absolutely sure he didn't miss the pot. He's missed his position.
As you say, slightly hampered And that's all you have to do. You just concentrate too much on the pot and you miss your position. Now he's got a red. There is a red to the far right corner. It's tough, but he's having a look at those two reds just to the right of the pink. I don't really think he can make them into a plant. Anyway, it's the one into the far right. Big shot this. But it's there.
38.
Good pot. He's not perfect on the green, but at least he's got over one little crisis by potting that.
Much more sensible to run through for a bought colour rather than screw back for black. If he'd missed the red, he would have left Stevens right in.
Using the cue power he's renowned for. He puts his hand up.
41.
Really, and sort of said I was a bit fortunate to get there, but he couldn't have put this better with his hand. It's absolutely inch perfect. He didn't play for that red. Just caught the bump of the middle pocket. But at this game, if you get a run of the ball, make the most of it, because it doesn't last forever.
49.
Well, surely he's not covered himself on the red to the right of the black.
Well, I can't believe he's been that careless, surely not. Well, he's given it a close inspection, he's trying to bend it slightly.
Oh.
Well, that was careless.
Jimmy White, 49.
He potted the green, was so lucky to get perfect on the red. So he had his bit of luck, couldn't make the most of it, and lucky not to leave anything. That was careless.
But it's a thing he does an awful lot, isn't it, John? He gets himself into a good position and then does something completely inexplicable.
Yes, just switches off. It can only be concentration. I said he'd left nothing, but Matthew is eyeing up the chances of potting this red. He's very close to it. It's very hard to judge the potting angle. Yes, you think you've done all the hard work, and then Jimmy just misses an easy one with the frame at his mercy. This is a tricky shot. Always difficult when they're close together. Good pot, good pot. One. So that mistake from Jimmy White could be more costly than I first thought.
Certainly would be if Stevens were to clear up from here to go 7-5 up.
Four.
Well, just about on this red to the right corner. Just about on it. But in potting it, he'll be cannoning into the one that's closest to the top cushion. So he's not certain where the cue ball's going to finish.
Five.
He's not finished good. Got the double kiss on the second red. Always a danger when a ball is tight to a cushion. Just watch, a double kiss. Took cue ball not in an ideal position on the black. Looks as though he's going to take the black. But boy, this is a tough pot.
Overcut it.
Matthew Stevens, 5.
But incredibly, he may have got away with it.
Well, funny enough, I was going to say it when he was playing the pot that he wasn't guaranteed to be on the next red. Unfortunately for Matthew, he's not on the next red. So just a safety shot left for Jimmy White. And he could not have played it better. Shot of the evening so far. Could be a frame winner if Matthew Stevens doesn't leave this safe after he's hit the red. Oh, he's trying to hit this red near the side cushion. Got a good line. Good line, good hits. Good hits.
Still half a chance. The red to right corner, though.
Yes, I think the problem with that one, the one near the top cushion, is Jimmy will be running into the 3 reds, so he's playing safe off this one. Oh, well, that's careless. He's knocked the red over the pocket. Bad misjudgment. He's played some good safety. That wasn't one of them.
One.
Stevens came to the table 37 behind.
8. Okay.
Should be good. Quite a few more here.
Yes, the only slight problem is those 3 reds just by the pink. One of them will definitely go in the left corner, but the other 2 are covering one another. So he's going to have to negotiate a little cannon at some time. But it's a good opportunity.
Thank you. 9.
Well, I had a feeling he'd play for the black, but just overrun slightly, so he'd probably play the pink to the right centre. And as I say, the lower one of those 3 will definitely pot into the left corner pocket. I don't think he can disturb anything off this pink. No, just playing for that 1 red, but those 2 reds, as I say, are covering one another.
15.
He may try to disturb them now. That seems to be the only obstacle between him and winning this frame. He's brought them into
60.
the open, but he's not got the right angle on the blue. But I think the pink will go. 21 points behind. They're all there for the taking.
Well, can't afford to miss those. Absolutely dead basic shot.
Matthew Stevens, 16.
More indicative of his state of mind than any difficulty in the shot.
Remarkable. And Jimmy knocks in the pressure red into the middle. So chances missed by both players. It's just the tension of the occasion.
Which I think White is handling better at the moment.
Yes, well, he wasn't this afternoon, as I say, and he was given
6.
a couple of lifelines, and he's made the most of it. But I'll tell you what, there might be a few mistakes, but it's exciting stuff, isn't it?
Thanks. 7.
This is the type of snooker that I love to watch. I feel myself very lucky to be sat in this commentary box. Well, he nearly overran that. He's only looking
13.
for 1 more red. He's just about on it, but it should have been easier than this.
Yeah.
Just a simple shot, just put too much into it. So this red, the frame clincher, is not a certainty now. But it's there.
14.
Made the vital last red more difficult for himself
21.
than he should have done. But he's past the post now.
$23.
Jimmy White
26.
was 5-3 down at the interval, and pleased that it was no worse.
30.
Has won 3 of the first 4 frames of the evening.
$35.
The UK Championship, 11 years ago, still stands as his last world ranking title, but he's still
41.
in contention for this one, and strongly in contention. It's 6-all at the mid-session interval.
Well, we've certainly got ourselves a contest later on in the evening. Your impression of the way that Jimmy came back in that frame, again, nearly threw it away. It's exciting anyway.
Yeah, he had a couple of chances. He needs 3 chances. But as John Virgo says, that's what it's all about. There's not big breaks that are winning. Jimmy hasn't made a half-century yet, and still he's 6 frames all. This is exciting snooker, and the punters are really enjoying this one.
Okay.
We're going to join the action early in frame 13. It's Jimmy at the table. Clive Everton and John Virgo are your commentators.
Good pot, good position, but wouldn't have had the chance to play it had the safety been better.
Six.
Nicely on this red to play for the black into the same pocket. Not certain where the black will go when it's respotted.
7.
There's the black spot and the red just above the black spot. I doubt whether it will be available into the left corner. It might be. No, it looks like Jimmy's played for it, so he thinks it'll go.
14.
It's tight, isn't it? And if he's not going to play it, if he doesn't think it'll pot, okay, red's to the middle, but he's not going to get guaranteed position on the colour. Good pot that though, cued it well. He'll settle for the blue into the far left corner. But because that red just above the black doesn't go, it looks like the black is out of commission and the pink. So it's going to be a tall order to score a lot of points at this visit, with only the blue really to play for. Overscrew that by at least 18 inches. Red to the far left corner looks the only possible pot. And he's playing for the black off this red. It's there. Is he on the black?
21.
Is he on the black? I think he is.
Excellent pot, and now bound to develop more reds.
Yes, it was a good pot. And good position on the black.
28.
He's on this red, but not perfect. Won't want to play the red along the top cushion because he needs to go up the table. It's a cutback. He missed a few of these this afternoon. Hit them too thick. Oh, well, he hit that one too thick, but gravity took over. He's had a few this
29.
evening that have struggled their way in. That was a good shot. It's nice to have that cue power in your armoury, isn't it?
Wow,
34.
almost it off. Didn't bargain. Well, tried to screw clear of the second red, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Didn't play to run into the second red. If he had done, he wouldn't have played it that hard. Lucky not to going off. But he didn't, and he potted the red on. And as I always say, if you do that, you're in control of the next shot.
Court, nip and tuck. They're just banging away at each other.
That really is nice. And you saw the stats, and the stats tell an interesting story.
But White has played a good safety. The safety has been pretty good on the whole in this championship.
Yes, it's been excellent, and I think in this match it's been a lot better than Matthew Stevens. It's just those careless shots that Jimmy's missed. And as I say, there was certainly a time in this match this afternoon where Jimmy looked as though he was losing it, but then Matthew started missing easy shots and let Jimmy back in, and that's why we've got this scoreline all to play for.
Foul. Jimmy White 4.
Is glad that the red has dropped in once he mishit the safety. Generally, he's hitting his safeties too thick rather than too thin. Of course, it depends on exactly what the shot is. But his safety is certainly vulnerable.
Yeah, so anytime you play safe using side on these superfine cloths, you've got to judge the throw very well indeed, because they do throw with side. Wasn't that easy a pot, and the main concern for Jimmy was not to run into anything else and get that cue ball back to baulk. A little bit hard, we'd have been happier. Can Matthew produce a good safety here?
He didn't have to use side that time. But it's still a poor shot. Very poor.
Well, yes, it didn't reach the baulk line. Knocked a red on. If Jimmy White can knock this long red in, Matthew will go behind. And he's not been behind since the first frame of this match. First to 9, remember, these matches.
One.
White came to the table 35 in front. Not on his intended red, perhaps, as he intended, as well as he might have been.
Yes, I think he played for the red in the right corner, but you would think that red goes to the right centre. It did,
9.
and he controlled it well. The black goes in, 51 points in front. So just looking for one more red.
16.
And he's bang on it.
17.
The momentum definitely with White. Stevens has never fully got over, missing that simple black for 5-1.
59 points in front, only 51 left. This red will mean that Matthew Stevens will not come back to the table.
25. $32. 33.
So this frame is going to put
40.
Jimmy White within 2 frames of a place in the final.
41. $47.
Stevens has got to get himself together. It's uphill now.
49.
Because in these run of frames, White has built up his confidence, his momentum.
52. 52, and the frame.
A 52 break,
Jimmy White.
which gives Jimmy White a 7-6 lead. He's ahead for the first time since the opening frame.
So straight into the next frame, it's Jimmy to play, and he's trailing by 33 points. One.
It was an excellent pot, this, and he played it really well. Put the pace in to get the cue ball in and out of baulk. Nicely on a baulk colour. Came to the table 33 points behind. His main objective here was to try and close the gap points-wise. He couldn't hope to win the frame at this visit. And that cue ball needs to slow if he's going to carry on.
5.
Not good, that.
Yep.
Well, he's asking for the extended rest, so he's going to play this red behind the pink. As I say, it'd be impossible to win the frame in one visit here, particularly with those 5 reds on the right-hand side of the table. The main object of the exercise, as I say, is to try and close the gap points-wise in this frame. Risky pot to take on, but he's so good with the rest, is Jimmy. Good pot. And pretty good, really. Pretty good to even get on the pink.
6.
Funny enough, Clive, I heard the commentary this afternoon when Willie Thorne said that Jimmy was probably the best rest player in the world, or was the best rest player in the world. And Dennis Taylor asked the question, how do you get to be, or how do you get that title, best rest player in the world? Well, how you do it, Dennis, is by hardly missing with the rest.
Another good shot. And if he's not absolutely perfect on the pink, still not bad. He has played to leave
90.
the cue ball closer to the side cushion there, because tempting the red at this angle means that he's probably going to kiss other reds.
Yes, and it may also help him in playing the screw to but back for a baulk colour, using the rest, but tough shot this. That was tough.
Thanks, Jim. Jimmy White, 19.
Normally Matthew would have no hesitation taking this red onto the right corner, but he's got to avoid the three reds just to the right of the pink and the red near the top cushion. It's not going to be easy to pot this and be guaranteed to be on a colour. He's going to run into another red, it appears. Needs a bit of luck. Well, he managed to hold it and send it across the table. Good cueing. Powerful cueing. Didn't think he could hold it that well. Good shot.
White knows there's a strong possibility that Stevens will take four reds with colours.
Yeah, I was just looking at the score. He's 22 points in front now. He'd like the black back down at this end, but the two reds to the right of the pink wouldn't be available if the black was on its spot. We need to play this well. And did. Played it with a lot of check side. Oh, but that kiss on the red hasn't helped. But for that, he'd have bounced off the cushion 2 or 3 inches and been nicely on the red, that red there, but being near the cushion, that's not the red he is choosing to play now. And this is a delicate little shot if he plays the one closest to the cue ball.
Should clinch the frame now, though.
Now, especially if it's a
of the half from the 20-yard line. Portis taken down by Bobby Hamilton.
And we looked at Tom
Reds. Where's the cue ball going to finish?
Jimmy made a comment there. The dreaded mobile phone. Thank goodness he wasn't down on the shot. A little bit straighter on this red would have been preferable. Close to the cushion. But he only has to pot the black because he's a red over the right middle. Just believe in your cueing. That's what you do with these. It's not there. It's not there.
Jimmy White 9.
Well, what a shame.
The situation multiplies the difficulty.
1.
Second match clinching chance for Stevens.
Yes, and what a match it's been. High drama all the way. I'm certain in the press conferences neither player would be happy with the way they played. But
5.
they give this packed arena here at the Barbican a tremendous evening's entertainment. It's best of 17. There's always got to be a winner. There's got to be a loser. But maybe there's another twist.
Six.
Not the best kiss on the blue for Matthew.
Pink. Pink ball.
Pink's easy enough. Could miss his position. But hasn't.
Yes, he's nicely on this red.
Yep.
Just has to
12.
drop it in. And if he gets on the colour, it looks like it's all over bar the shouting.
Red colour red to put Jimmy White out of the UK Championship. Something took Stevens off his shot there, or maybe he just wanted to check it one last time.
Well, nice kiss on the red, but he's still a little bit of work to do. For Pink to go 30 points in front, so he needs the last red. It looks simple, but difficult circumstance. Well, he's playing the black. That surprised me somewhat. He only needs the red.
20.
Safely in, so it's another disappointment for Jimmy White. The match turned when Matthew Stevens missed a simple black for 5-1. Jimmy
27.
White exploited that. He led 7-6 throughout this tense evening session, but in the end he couldn't quite do it.
Matthew Stevens 27. Frame in the match.
As usual, gracious in defeat, disappointed as he is. It's Matthew Stevens who goes through to the final, the winner by 9 frames to 7.
thought I was leaving it slip there a little bit. You know, I was 4-1, 5-2 in front. All of a sudden, came out tonight, and Jimmy, you know, played really well. Put a lot of pressure on me early doors, and 7-6 down. You know, things were looking bad, but I managed to dig in there and hold myself together and played really positive towards the end, and just pleased the way I coped with the pressure. Obviously, the crowds were with Jimmy, but you know, I enjoyed the match, you know, all through it, and all credit to Jimmy. You know, he's still you know, one of the top players in the world, and he gave me, you know, a great match today, and he should be, you know, he's just a legend.
I couldn't get no positional play at all. It was really frustrating. I couldn't. Every time I'd like pot a ball, I'd have to play an odd sort of shot next to, because I played a bad positional shot, and he went on all day. It was driving me nuts, and I thought, if I just connect a bit of cue ball control and have a chance. I was like a guy called Perry Mans. You'd have to go back to know about him.
I remember Perry Mans. He won the Wembley Masters, his highest break in the whole tournament, 48. So I think Jimmy was being a bit hard on himself, and all in all, he's had a great UK championship. And for Matthew Stevens, a chance now to win his first ranking event, and could it be third time lucky in the UK final for the Welshman?
Yes, and tomorrow is the second semi-final between the Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan and the 7-time world champion Stephen Hendry, and that's a repeat of the British Open final, which was a classic a couple of weeks ago, a match that Stephen won. If you want to see highlights of their quarter-final matches, stay tuned for Snooker Extra, and join us tomorrow, live coverage of the semi-final starting at 2:15 in Grandstand. Goodbye for now.